Welcome to another unboxing video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander, and today we're taking, this will be a quick unboxing, it's an unbagging I suppose, of Tango Down, which is man-to-man urban combat, and this is just put out by Tiny Battle Publishing. This one's designed by Greg Porter, who did Armageddon War, one of my favourite games from last year. And this is a small baggy game. There was a print and play version that you can get. This is kind of the physical copy. This is what you get if you kind of purchase and have it shipped to yourself. So we'll take a quick look at this. Comes in a nice bag. Tiny Battle Publishing. I'm going to qualify this. So far, they only do these kind of little magazine folio type games. They are starting to go into some boxed games, which you'll hear more about that coming soon. So we have, let's see, alright, there's a few bits and pieces in here. We'll start with this, which is the main rulebook, and if you've ever played Tiny Battle's games, very large print. So it is 24 pages, but the reality is these are very large, lots of illustrations and diagrams. And the last, let's see, 8, 4... So really there's 18 pages of rules, well, 17 pages of rules at best. All of these are scenarios, there's 10 different scenarios in here. These are the rules, and it is quite literally man-to-man clearing buildings, counter-terrorism operations. This is a two-player game, so you'll have one player playing kind of the counter-terrorist fire team, and of them maybe playing the hostage takers or whatever the situation might be, kind of holed up in a building, so rules seem to be fairly digestible. The map, make sure we get this right around, here we go, this is the map, and you can see it's literally the inside of, this is like an office building, so it's like a conference room, it's reams of paper and rubble, lots of different little cubicles and offices around the edge, and a bit more of like an open lobby here at the front with a little front desk. So this is one of the maps. The other map here is more of an individual, like an urban building. So you have kind of the outside, just grey tarmac. Looks like a van or a bus out front. Maybe like an open loading room. Maybe this is a warehouse or something like that. You have some stairs going down. It's just some different rooms again, some terrain and rubbles. But you can see it's lots of corners, lots of doorways, lots of small rooms. Not necessarily a lot of shooting lanes. So you need good discipline with your fire team moving in and around. Now, if you've ever played any video games like Counter-Strike, things like that, Rainbow Six, Siege, I'm thinking this is a similar style of game that you're going to get from those. But this is obviously a board game version. There is a small deck of cards. Let's see, open these up. The deck of cards is your turn kind of tracker. So there's a whole bunch of cards in here that have a little ability on them, but there's an end turn card. First one's fine. The second one ends the turn. So literally you would shuffle these up. You're going to flip a card, you'll do this, and then you play a turn, flip another one, play a turn, flip another one, play a turn, flip another one, play a turn, and each turn is basically a single activation of a guy. This one, okay, I've got to set this aside, and next one that pops up, well, let's see, where is it? The actual game turn ends once you find the second one. So you'll have a lot of activation sometimes, but I think they said the average is like 8, the way the deck shakes out. It's possible that you only have like 2 or 3, and somewhere you have kind of the full deck's worth. So you'll be going through this a lot, so I might recommend sleeving those if you're going to play this a lot, just because you will go through, you'll shuffle this and use it probably, 7 or 8 times in a game. So that's something to consider with those. And the last thing we have here are these 2 sheets of counters, and these are pre-rounded, pretty easy to punch. They have 2 little gates on each of the sides, not corners or anything like that. But the counters, it's very tactical in nature, right? A single grenade, a door, a breach hole. There's some action markers and smoke markers. Go and place a time bomb, And you have some units here, hostages, looks like some counter-terrorism units. More CT and more kind of terrorist units. I don't know if they're terrorists, but I'm looking at this as a reference from Counter-Strike Go, which that's what this is. Smoke markers, more hostage markers, and then a reduced side on each of those. So not a lot in here, but you'll literally be moving through these squares, popping into rooms, trying to clear them out, trying to free hostages, or lay a time bomb, or do things like that. So it's not a massive game by any stretch of the imagination, but it is also one where you do have the option, if you were so inclined, and there's some rules in the back for this, about making your own maps. Because the reality is you could set up a scenario where you have a couple guys, a couple hostages, go and get the hostages, right? Really, really easy to create a scenario using the scenarios that are in here, but if you get a grid overlay on basically any indoor structure map, you could make a map for this game very, very easily, because it's a square grid instead of hexes, and yeah, it's a building. Boop. There's a million maps online for role-playing games and sci-fi and modern ones. I'm sure you could find tons of maps on which to actually play this game. So, there's 10 scenarios and 2 maps in this, but if you were so inclined and you really like this, you could make this game as big as you wanted to. So that's a look at Tango Down from Greg Porter. Greg always gives you something different, so I'm excited to kind of dig into this. A little quick game. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to play so that we can play it over and over and over again. This might be like a lunch break style game as well. But yeah, this is Tango Down from Tiny Battle Publishing. Excited to get my teeth into this one.